God became man in Jesus.
Shalom World's 9 p.m. talk series brings you powerful preaching that can help you fashion a grace-filled roadmap for your life.
To see ourselves through God's eyes.
Even though it will all go wrong, God will bring good out of it.
That you are connected to your source of life and nothing will ever change that.
Whatever might go wrong for us, our hope is always in the Lord.
9 p.m. only on your Shalom World.
Hello and welcome to a time of excitement and inspiration. I am Manoj Sunny, and together with Shalom World, we'll take you through the journeys of a group of ordinary people in the Jesus Youth Movement who dared to follow an extraordinary call as a part of the Fulltime Volunteer Project. A project that has been instilling the missionary lifestyle in young people for the last 28 years. A project that has put 28 batches of young people, around 2,000 so far, through a 30-day intensive training and placing them in mission centers around the world for a whole year. And that's exactly why they're called God's crazy people. Today we have with us a young and dynamic girl from UK, the daughter of Roger and Maria Goretti, who holds a master's in pharmacy sciences. During her career as a pharmacist in UK, she decided to set apart 1 year fully for the Lord and attended the International Fulltimers training in Thailand in 2016. She was the first Fulltimer to be placed in Canada. She currently works as a pharmacist in Peterborough. Let us welcome this power package, Shelina Guedes. A hearty welcome, Shelina.
Thank you, Manoj, for inviting me to be part of this interview. I'm very happy to be here, to be a witness, to share about my full-timer experience and how God has blessed me. And He continues to be faithful to me even now in this journey. So I'm happy to be here today. Thank you.
How did you start your journey with the Lord? Or when was your moment of encounter with the Lord?
It was in the early days of my university. I was 18 years old, and that was the first time I was introduced to the Jesus Youth Movement through a small prayer group that used to happen in one of my friends' home. When I was 19, I attended the first national conference called Dare to Go. That's where I first experienced Christ in a personal way. It was not a big experience, but it was the beginning of my journey. Since then, it has been a gradual growth to my journey with Christ, and it still goes on till today.
But unlike many others, your commitment was not soon after your studies. You had a successful career and you were working, and then you decided to take a break and serve the Lord. Why did you take that decision?
Actually, I was asked to go for full-timership when I qualified. That was when I graduated as a pharmacist. But at the time, I was not too convinced about whether this calling was for me. So when I was asked to go, I straight away, without praying or discerning, I rejected and I said, no, I'm not interested. At that time, I had this eagerness to start work, to earn money. I wanted a car, and I started to work. It was 1 year, 2 years passed, 3 years passed, and everything was going as per what I planned. So I started to get this promotions. I got a car. One thing I realized during those times was that nothing was satisfying me. The thoughts when I was at university, I thought I need to make a lot of money and I need to get all these materialistic things, which I thought would satisfy me. But actually, they started to make me feel more empty, and I started to lack purpose. At the time, I was searching for something more. I was praying to God that is this how I'm going to grow old till I'm 60, 70? I don't find any purpose in this. Of course, the job was good, everything was going well, but still nothing was filling this hole that was inside me. And in prayer, I was constantly praying, and there was again another conference that happened in 2015. And after the conference, I was approached by one of the previous full-timer who asked me if you would like to go for full-timership. But this time I took the time to pray, to discern, and I felt a strong conviction in my heart to take a break, even though things seemed impossible for me, because I was already, in fact, I was promoted only 3 or 4 months ago. I was promoted to a higher position. So here I was having to tell my manager that I want to take a career break. It was a very difficult decision, but at the same time, there was something, a force inside me that kept pushing me to go for this. And I believe it is the Holy Spirit, because until I did not say yes, I was feeling very restless inside. Once I said yes to go for the full-timership, I had a lot of peace. So I knew that this was something that God had prepared for me at this time, not 3 or 4 years ago.
Shelina, before we continue with our discussions, I have a surprise for you. Joining us now, Dr. Joe Joes and Julie Thomas, all the way from Canada. Dr. Joe, a rank holder in medical studies, was one of the key leaders of the healthcare professionals ministry in India. Julie is a software professional. She also took a full-time commitment soon after her engineering studies in India. They now make their home in Winnipeg with their 5 children. Dr. Joe and Julie.
When I think of Shelina's full-timership here, what comes to my mind was Jesus telling his disciples in John 15:16 that I send you out to bear fruits that will last. And so here, Shelina's presence here did give us a fruit that lasted even after she left here. That is a good music ministry. Before Shelina's arrival here, the Archbishop of Winnipeg had asked us to do a First Nation parish outreach to take care of a parish. Now, at that time, there were a few teens and kids here and youth here who were just learning and picking up musical instruments on their own. What she did was to bring them together, motivate them, identify their talents, build on their talents, and with perseverance and a lot of prodding and encouragement, she was able to gather them together regularly, and that developed into a music ministry. And with that, we were able to do these First Nation remote parish outreaches as a team. It was really amazing, which we never thought it would happen at that time.
Her motivation and her eagerness to use her talents for the kingdom of God was truly remarkable. When I think of her, what comes to my mind is also her contagious laughter. She brought so much of joy to her family. Like, I have 5 children, and she was like one among them, and her presence was truly a joyful experience, and to the sense that when she left, we really missed her. She was very intelligent, and she used to pick up our language also, Malayalam, and we had many funny moments. Shelina, would you like to share with us any of the funny moments you had in your full-timership?
Thank you, Dr. Joe and Julie. Shelina, it's a good question to continue with our discussions.
Some of the embarrassing or funny moments in Canada, as Julie mentioned, was about my laughter. I have this very loud laughter. So when initially I was getting to know people, I would suppress this laughter and try and contain it within myself. But once I started to get comfortable, I would just burst out in this very loud laughter. And a lot of times it would either scare people or shock people, or they would find it funny and laugh with me. But eventually, by the end of my full-timership experience, everyone was sort of comfortable with this laughter, which is nice. They accepted me the way I am. But I just used to find it funny how, initially when I would just burst into laughter, that was my contagious laughter. That would sometimes some people would be a bit shocked. And I suppose that's probably one of the few funny moments I've had.
Both Julie and Joe talks about your involvement in music ministry. I think you are active in the music ministry in UK also. So why music? Okay, what is the importance of music in youth ministry? What do you think?
So in today's generation, I can see that music is one of the powerful tool to speak to someone. So instead of even with myself, when I did not know Christ, when I didn't have a Christ encounter, one thing that would draw me to listening to something is music, because that would stir emotions within me. It would help me meditate. It would help me reflect and direct my attention towards God. Especially me, my attention span is quite small. So when people talk for a little while, I can lose attention. But with music, I've realized it's something that catches my attention. I want to hear more of it. And sometimes the lyrics will be a part, it'll be someone's testimony or some message in there that I needed to hear at that time. So when I realized that that's how I was drawn towards Christ, that was one of the ways that helped me draw towards Christ, I decided to use the same tool to evangelize to other youth. And that's the reason why I think in today's world, we need to have good Christian music, because there are many bad music as well out there. And that's why there is an importance to have much good music, Christian music, to reach out to the youth.
So, Shelina, I believe I don't have to ask this question. You can guess it, isn't it? Could you please share one of your songs with us?
So it's one of the song I'm still working on it, but I'd like to share with you just a few lines. And it's just talking about the good and the greatness of God and the holiness of God. This is how the song goes. Here I am, oh Lord, come speak to me now. Take my heart, make me yours forever. Every breath I breathe, I long to live for you. You are the reason I live. Empty-handed, abandoned, I come before you, Lord. Take my heart, make me yours forever. Every pain, every sorrow, I place them in your hands. You are the reason I live. Blessed are you, Lord, and blessed is your holy name. You're the great I am, God Almighty. Every nation proclaim that you alone are holy. You're the great I am, God Almighty.
Thank you, Shelina, for that beautiful song. You have a blessed voice. Thank you so much for sharing that song. We are all now empty-handed, abandoned, and we come before Him. Especially the whole world is going through this pandemic. The only thing we can do is exalt His name and say, Lord, you are in control, because we don't have anything with us. We don't have anything in control now. Beautiful song, Shelina. Thank you. So you've completed 4 years and you are into a full-time career now. How does this full-timership experience help you in living your life today?
It has helped me massively. When I've returned from my 1 year full-timership, that's when my real mission began. One thing that God spoke to me very clearly during my 1 year full-timership is that you don't have to go to the ends of the earth to do mission. Your mission is where you are placed, and that starts from my home. That means starting with my parents, starting with my parish, starting with my friends around me. And God gave me opportunities to be a missionary in my home, in my parish, doing the confirmation group, leading the youth group, and not just that, but also in my personal life. I am now having a different relationship with God, and that's where I would like to share something that happened during my initial days when I was in Canada. Uh, because it was the first I was the first full-timer there. I did not know. I was a bit clueless as to what I was supposed to do. So I was placed in a convent for 3 months with the nuns, and most days it was just going to mass, coming back, sitting in adoration. There was a nice small chapel inside the convent itself, and many days I sat in prayer, and I was expressing my frustration to God, and I was crying and telling God, God, give me. I'm a person that like to be in control of things. The moment things start to go out of control, I feel impatient and frustrated. And that is what was happening. God was surfacing, bringing all this to surface, what He wanted me to change, and He was molding me during that time. But at that time, it was a very difficult experience for me, and I was crying to and being angry to God, and just telling Him that, why did you bring me here? I want to do mission. I went with that zeal that I have to be showing and doing ministry work, and because that wasn't happening, I was not very happy. That was not in my control. I couldn't do it. And I remember God speaking to me something like this, that if I did not, how would you experience the comforting love of a father if I did not push you out of your comfort zone? And I experienced this profound love of God the Father during that time flowing in me. And I was just crying. I was sitting on my own and crying at the Blessed Sacrament exposed. And I felt this inner love of God the Father comforting me, hugging me. That experience I still have today. See, before, if I did not have that experience, I would run to, if I'm down, I will go to my parents and share with them, or to my friends and share with them, but never to God. I would not think of going to God. When I was placed in that place in Canada there, because I didn't know many people and I wasn't comfortable to share with people, I had nobody else but God alone. If I shared with my parents, they would tell me, come back home tomorrow. If I shared with my friends, they would say, you made the silly decision to go for full-timership, so now you deal with it. Or probably they wouldn't understand me. But it was God alone who comforted me. And even now, when I am when I feel down, when I am going through that time of spiritual dryness, I can sit in prayer and cry to God, and I experience the same comfort of this Father that's saying, it's okay, I am with you, I am journeying with you, I am constantly with you. This is something that cannot be replaced. If I did not have that experience during my full-timership, maybe this relationship of experience the love of a father, the comfort of a father, maybe I'm not sure if I would have had that. But this relationship is now just so beautiful that I just get, it's hard to explain in words. It's only something that I can experience. And thanks to that experience in full-timership that I had, that I'm able to now rely on nobody else, not even my parents or friends, but in God alone.
My final question to you, Shalina. What is the message you want to share with the youth of today, your own peers of today?
I would like to reiterate the same message that Pope Benedict XVI shared. If we let Christ in our lives, we lose nothing, absolutely nothing of what makes life free, beautiful, and great. And I've tasted this freedom, and it is beautiful. Today, if someone had to offer me £1 million or more and give me the offer to go back to my old ways, if they gave me so much money, if they'd put this offer 17 years ago, maybe I would have accepted the offer. But today that I've experienced the goodness, the faithfulness, and the true freedom of Christ, like Jesus promises in John 10:10, I have come that you may have life and life in abundance. And this abundant life that I've experienced is much more, it's so much worth more than what any materialistic thing can offer. So no, I would not go back to any kind of offer of materialistic goods. Because Christ is so worth it, and He's worth sharing, He's worth loving, and He's worth knowing and giving that to other people. So that is all I have to share with the youth of today.
Thank you, Shalina. It was a pleasure having you with us today. As Julie commented, your joy is contagious. May God continue to use you as a powerful instrument to reach out to many, many, many more young people around you.
Thank you, Manoj, for this opportunity and for giving me the chance to share my Christ experience with others. And I really hope and pray that this message will reach out to as many youth who needs to hear this. And like I said, give Christ a chance, and He will take you to greater heights that you've never imagined. Thank you.
Today we have a very special guest joining us, C.C. Joseph, one of the key leaders of the movement. He is part of Jesus Youth since 1992 and was a full-timer in the 6th batch from 1997 to 98. He served as a national and international coordinator of the Jesus Youth Movement. He currently lives in India with his wife and 3 children and works as a director of Fourth Way Foundation, an NGO which works for the holistic development of children. C.C. Joseph.
The Fulltimership project churns out many individuals who are madly in love with Jesus and who are willing to be the joyful contradictions in the world they live in. It has built many committed individuals who live a genuine Christian life. One thing that vividly comes to my mind is that intoxicating smile on all those young people, especially after that commitment ceremony. It's so joyful and graceful. One of the main focuses of the Fulltimership project is to be a missionary disciple. And during their time of commitment, the youngsters go out and live this calling to the fullest. And the beauty of this project is this is not just limited to their time of commitment, but they are encouraged to live it throughout their life. And we see so many youngsters, so many people who have taken up this one-year commitment, going out and living true Christian life and helping the church in so many different ways. So this Fulltimership project is not just limited to the time of training or the time of commitment, but this is actually focusing on the whole life. And that is what actually helps in building missionaries for the church.
Thank you, dear CC, for sharing about the focus of our training to form missionary disciples. As Pope Francis said in his first apostolic exhortation, Evangelii Gaudium, the church herself is a missionary disciple. And he made a proposal much more in the line of an evangelical discernment. He said, it is the approach of a missionary disciple, an approach nourished by the light and strength of the Holy Spirit. And he underlined it by saying, in virtue of their baptism, all the members of the people of God have become missionary disciples. So if any one of you listening to me now is inspired to answer a similar call and desire to be part of such a growing fellowship that will support you and keep you firmly grounded, then do get in touch with us. So that's it for today, friends. Let's keep each other in prayer and stay crazy for God until we meet again next week for the same program on Shalom World. For more exciting contents, watch shalomworld.org and download the free apps of Shalom World on your iOS and Android devices. Thank you.
Are you looking for life-changing entertainment? Does what you see on most channels leave you feeling unfulfilled? Well, look no further. Shalom World TV brings the peace and joy of Jesus Christ to you, whether at home or on the go. To start watching, you don't need antennas, cable connections, or a dish. You probably already have what you need if you have a smart TV, such as a Samsung, LG, or Panasonic, or if you have one with an Android, Opera, or Roku TV operating system. These can be found on the latest models of Sony, Toshiba, Vizio, Philips, RCA, Sharp Aquos, TCL, Insignia, Element, Hitachi, Vestal, Skyworth, Changhong, Konka, and Hisense. You can also watch Shalom TV on most IPTV streaming devices, starting with the 4th generation of Apple TV and Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Mi Box, Amino, Humax, or on TiVo Box through the Opera TV store. Are you a gamer or virtual reality enthusiast? We've got you covered. Shalom World is on Xbox One, Razer Forge, Nvidia Shield, and HoloLens. To start watching, all you have to do is go to the App Store, download Shalom World, and start being fulfilled by content that brings you into a deeper relationship with Jesus Christ. For more information on how to watch Shalom World on your TVs and devices, visit us at shalomworld.org/connectedtv. Have a smartphone or tablet? Take Shalom with you wherever you go. Again, by downloading Shalom World from the App Store. If you prefer to watch from your Mac or PC, get the Shalom World desktop app. Or you can always watch from our website, shalomworld.org. And guess what? Shalom World is absolutely free on all of these platforms. Yes, free. There are no download charges and no in-store app purchases required, ever. If you're looking for life-changing entertainment, you found it. It's here, waiting for you on your Shalom World.